Hi everyone, I am your Education Abroad Advisor at the University of Georgia Office of International Education. In this video, I will guide you through the process of filling out and submitting your health immunization forms while applying to UGA. Here we go. Every newly admitted student to UGA should submit 2 documents that show the student has all health immunizations as required by university policies. These documents are the health immunization forms and the tuberculosis or TB screening form. Each document needs to be printed, filled out, signed by a doctor, and then returned to your Education Abroad advisors at UGA. The forms are required by university prior to course registration. Before having the health forms approved by the University Health Center, every student has a health immunizations hold in their Athena account. After the forms are submitted and approved, the hold is cleared. It is important to know that this is one of the holds that can prevent and delay course registration. The earlier you submit your health immunization documents and clear the hold, the earlier you can register for classes. Now I'm going to explain about the health form requirements, so you can fill out your forms accordingly. This is a health immunizations form. This document must be completed and submitted at least 30 days prior to registering for courses. On the right top corner, you must fill out your first and last names, your 81 number, your date of birth, and phone number. And in this case, you can use your home country phone number. The first immunization on the list is the MMR, which stands for measles, mumps, and rubella. All students born outside of the U.S. and U.S. or Canadian students born before 1957 are required to take MMR. There are 2 ways to take the shot. The 2 separate doses that target measles, mumps, and rubella individually, or 2 doses that work for all 3 together. Now some important guidelines. Shots taken before 12 months or 1 year of age are not considered valid. The student took the shot before that age needs an additional shot. The second dose should not be taken less than 28 days after the first one, otherwise an additional dose is needed. If you took the shots but you don't have record of the specific date, you can also take a titer test that shows if your body is immune to measles, mumps, and rubella. If the test report shows you are immune, you can submit the lab report with the forms. However, if the test report shows you are not immune to at least one of the 3 diseases, then you will need to take additional vaccines. The varicella or chickenpox immunization shot is required for all students born outside of the U.S. or all U.S. and Canadian students born after 1980. Shots taken before 12 months of age are not valid, and if that happened, an additional dose is required. The second dose should not have been taken less than 28 days after the first shot. Otherwise, an additional dose is also required. If you don't have record of the immunization shots, then you can also take the titer test that shows that your body is immune to varicella or chickenpox. If the test report shows you are immune, the University Health Center will accept a scanned copy of that report. However, if the test shows you're not immune, then you will need to take additional doses of this vaccine. Note that self or parental reported history of the diseases are not accepted. If you have the disease in the past, you can have the titer test to show your body is immune to the disease. However, if the test report does show you're not immune, the injection series is needed. Another option is to request an official diagnosis report from your healthcare provider showing you were previously infected. The next immunization shot on the list is the tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis, or Tdap. Only 1 dose of Tdap is required to all incoming students. However, this dose should have been taken in no less than 10 years. A student who took the tetanus shot more than 10 years ago will need to take an additional dose, which is called the TD booster, and report the date on the form. The hepatitis B shot is only required to students who are 18 years old or younger at the time of application to UGA. If you are older than 18 years old, this immunization is optional. but feel free to add the dose dates if you have taken them in the past. Students who are 18 years old or younger can either fill out the 3 dose dates or submit an antibody titer test result in English and issued by a certified lab in a letterhead document. The next dose is the meningococcal vaccine, and it is strongly recommended for students under 22 years old. This vaccine is recommended to all students living on campus housing, fraternity, and sorority houses. Students who have taken the shot more than 5 years ago can take a booster dose and report the date. Students who do not wish to take this vaccine can sign a statement of understanding instead of providing proof of immunization. All students are required to fill out the tuberculosis screening questionnaire. I will show you how to fill this out later in this video. Recommended vaccines include hepatitis, Gardasil, and meningitis B. While these vaccines are not mandatory, we recommend you consider taking them if you are 23 years old or younger. If you haven't taken these shots, please include the dates in the form so the health center can have a more detailed information about your health immunizations. Students can request exemption from taking 1 or more immunization shots under 2 situations. First, if the health immunization shots required by the university are in conflict with their religious beliefs, and second, if you have allergies to the shots, in which case you are going to need a permanent medical contraindication letter. Once your health forms are completed, you can take them to a local doctor or physician. Ask the doctor to verify your documents to make sure they are properly filled out, and then enter the doctor or healthcare provider's information, which includes name, address, phone number, signature, and date. The tuberculosis screening form has 3 pages that need to be filled out properly and signed by a doctor or physician prior to submission to your GA. The first page contains the TB screening questionnaire part 1. Make sure you read it thoroughly and answer it at the best of your knowledge. You must answer yes or no to questions 1 and 2. If you answer yes to question 2, please circle the country where you were born in the box below. For questions 3 to 6, you can also answer yes or no. At the bottom of the page, you should sign and date if you are over 18 years old. Otherwise, your parents or legal guardians should sign and date on your behalf. If you answered no to all questions 1 through 6, you are done. You do not need to continue filling out the TB screening assessment. Now, if you answered yes to at least one of those questions, you need to continue filling out the document. Now you're going to learn how to fill out the part 2 of the questionnaire. Because you answered yes to a question in part 1 of the TB assessment, you are a candidate for the tuberculin skin test, TST, or the interferon gamma release array, RGRA. If you are going to have either one of those 2 tests done with your healthcare provider, once you receive the lab report, you should take the TB screening form to your doctor or physician so he or she can fill it out. Note, you should not fill out the document yourself. Your doctor should do it based on your exams. Please include the lab report attached to the health forms once you submit them. And if you have history of BCG vaccine, you should also consider taking the IGRA test. If you chose to do the tuberculin skin test, your doctor should fill out the test results properly following the interpretation guidelines right below. If you chose to have an IGRA test done, your doctor should also fill out the spaces accordingly to your test reports. If the test you chose had positive results, you are also required to do a chest X-ray. Your doctor should fill out the results of the chest X-ray report accordingly. Students with positive results for either TST or IGRA tests must have the boxes filled out by a doctor who will also suggest treatment. Based on the student's feedback, the doctor should mark accepted or declined to receive tuberculosis treatment and then sign and date at the bottom. Once the student undergoes treatment, new lab tests should be conducted to verify if the student's body is immune to tuberculosis, and the student should attach the test report documents. A few reminders before submitting the health immunization forms. A physician should review and sign the forms prior to submission. Documents should be scanned and uploaded to the Go Abroad portal with good resolution. The health center can only review your documents once before the health immunizations and TB screening forms are completely filled out. Documents not properly filled out may need additional rounds of revision. It may take 3 to 5 business days after submission to review and approve documents. And once your documents are approved, a health immunization hold in your Athena will be cleared. You made it! If you have questions about your health forms, please let us know. You can email us at exchange@uga.edu. Thank you for watching the video.